leads and you have some people to pick up on top of that, I think cold calling is also, more of a reach of it is going to be from, cold leads that come in. So, for example, paid ads and stuff like that, you are still cold calling them. And from there, I mean, you're going to be sitting in the middle of a meeting and you get a notification, oh, KV Core, new lead to your phone. And you step out, cold call them, run.
And technically, yeah, that's cold. I would say it's a little bit warmer, just because typically, like, they've come through some form of funnel. They've come, these are people who for a fact are. Now, the one thing I will say in ad is that I think it depends, because like if you go that route, then I don't have a problem cold calling. If I have the lead information, know they're interested in real estate, yeah, I'll call them right now. Hey man, I see you're interested in blah blah blah. How's it, how can I help, things like that, right? What has you interested? What kind of issues are you going through? Things like that. Really want to figure out their pain point and help solve that. But it also comes back to the question of cold calling is very broad. If you're planning, I mean, there's a million different ways to cold call. Are we calling FSBOs here? Are we calling expireds? Everybody's a bit different. For example, somebody who's cold calling FSBOs is going to have a little bit of a different time than circle prospecting. Circle prospecting, you're calling the masses. You're calling anybody and everybody. And these guys are like, why the hell are you on my phone? You call expireds or FSBOs, guess what they're going to tell you? Oh my God, I'm hearing from all these agents.
Yep.
Right? So it's a different objection. It's a different problem. It's a different wall that you have to get through. I'd almost say, I want to say it's easier to circle prospect, but then again, I want to say it's easier to, it just depends on your experience. It depends on where you're at. And it depends on your ability. And really, I think it's the follow-up. I mean, I've heard of agents who they make a call to a FSBO that's been called by 50 other agents, but for some reason, they get the deal. Even if they were call number 30, call number 50, call number 55, it doesn't matter. But it's all about how they take it. It's all about the questioning that they use to get through that.
You got to stand out. It's a pattern interruption.
I know an agent. She is badass. Okay, this woman, she will call them. They don't answer. Okay, she'll call them. She'll dial again. Call them again. They don't answer. Okay, a couple hours later, she'll call them back. After her lunchtime, she'll come back and she'll call all the people that didn't answer. They didn't answer. Fine. Okay. She drives to their home, drops off a package on the floor, like on their doorstep, and she puts a little sticky note on their door, right? And I think it's all pink. It stands out. It's her brand.
Is this Dawn?
It's Dawn.
Shout out to Dawn.
Yes, for real. She's badass. But the thing is you talk about, like, it's not even just in the cold calling itself. How many of those do you think she picked up? Maybe not many. I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't ask her that question. I probably should have. And I'm sure we talked about it. I just remember it's been a while. But ideally, you think about that, and it's like, she's going to win whether they answer or not. She's going to win whether there's objection handling there or not, because at the end of the day, if I'm a seller and I'm getting called by 50 agents, but this agent called me twice, left me a voicemail, then called me a third time later that day, and then I still didn't answer, and then she showed up at my house, put something on the door, knocked, I wasn't there, and she left a sticky note. Like, if I'm going to call an agent back, who do you think I'm calling first?
Yeah.
That one agent that stood out from the rest of them.
That's effort, man.
And so that just like I said, there's just so many ways to do it.
Yeah, 100%. I think with this pattern interruption thing too, it's the same thing with door knocking. I mean, talk a little bit about door knocking. Have you been door knocking before?
That's your thing.
It is my thing.
You're killing it with door knocking. No. I've thought about it in the past. I know for me, if I went door knocking, and I always talk about this, and this will be a different conversation for another time, but it comes back down to being a sales rep versus being, a business owner.
Yeah.
And really the difference is more so, whether or not you're farming. I think there's a lot of people out there who are door knocking just to door knock, which isn't a problem. It's still a form of prospecting. It's like cold calling. But again, the problem is typically you're not going to close a sale on the phone. Typically it's an appointment, right? Bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting. And then from there, having the right, questions to ask, being able to handle the objection
100%.
to get through that process.
I think some people come in and they think of door knocking as you're just going to knock on the door, say, hey, do you want to sell your house?
Yep.
No, that's not how it goes. You're not going to sell anybody like that. That's like hosting an open house and not knowing what kind of questions to ask these people. Hosting an open house, sitting at the kitchen table and waiting for them to come to you is never going to work. That's just not it. You do have to go hunt them with the spear and go out and start attacking these people. And that does not mean go and knock on the door and ask if they want to sell their house. That is not what I mean by hunting with the spear. You got to get tactical with it. You got to hide in the bushes and creep up on them and then attack them when they least expect it. You're hunting your prey. You can't chase them off. If you come and you're flaunting your spear, sell your house, they close the door.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to hide that. It's a little bit of a Trojan horse into it, if you will. But no, I think what makes door knocking effective is that, one, you can knock on tons and tons of doors, talk to a whole bunch of people who are homeowners. You know who you're talking to in terms of price points and what neighborhoods. So for example, I like to knock homes that are likely to upsize because my pitch is around upsizing. And that would be condos and townhomes. One, they have the highest turnover rate. So this is 2 to 3 years. And two, they're typically smaller homes. I target under 400,000, anywhere from 3 to 400,000. I don't want to go too low, and I don't want to go over 400,000. And I want to help them buy 5, 6, 7. And so usually, a lot of the people in these condos, townhomes, they're a little bit more affordable because they're smaller and they're less desirable, I guess you could say. They're typically younger people. It's their first home. And so you're helping these people who have already been through the buying process one time, so they kind of know their way around it. But at the same time, one, you can get a lot of renters that are young. And two, now that they are young, I can relate to them as me because younger people are a little bit less in their ways, I guess, if you will. They're a little bit less stubborn. They're less, they don't want to challenge you as much. And they're more willing to take your guidance and your direction because they still are on that younger side. And so I'm able to relate with them a little bit more being a young guy myself.
What is typically the objective
that
you get from these guys?
Objective?
And, I'm sorry, objective. Objection. And two, the question is, so one, what is typically the objection you get from most of them? And two, have you ever had any rude people? Like, I'm sure that's a big question a lot of people have, right?
Yeah.
Like, you knock on the door and it's like,
People find out that I'm door knocking. They're like, God, have you haven't been shot yet? You live in Texas. Everyone has guns. No! Everyone lives in Texas, and everyone here is nice. I can't stress that enough.
No, just kidding.
Besides him.
Yeah,
but,
just me.
I think from what I've heard from other people that I know that don't knock out of state and have knocked in Texas, Texas is one of the best markets to knock in because the southern hospitality. Yeah. I mean, some people like want to come and invite you in to have some pie, like just cause. Not that has nothing to do with real estate.
I'm about to say, I'll start door knocking now if that's the case.
Oh my God. But no, that's funny. Yeah, no, I think I've maybe had one rude person out of, if I had to guess how many doors I knock, I'd say it's like just under 1,500 doors probably. Not many conversations. Actually, maybe getting up there.
Now, just to clarify, when you say door knocking, are we talking about you're knocking on the door, having some conversation, moving on? Do you have a follow-up system built up? Like, is this farming or is this just like now business focused?
So it is farming in the sense of I'm coming back into the neighborhood. So you pick your neighborhoods, and essentially how you want to attack it is you go there and your goal should be to talk to every single homeowner. Now, are you going to sell these people right then, right there? I mean, no, the odds are very low. However, it's very possible with the certain pitch that you have, which is just a question-based pitch. Yeah. You can always land on somebody who is looking to buy, but maybe they were a little hesitant about telling you. That's why my pitch is just around answering the door. And it comes back to what we were talking about with cold calling, which is pattern breaking. One, I'm already pattern breaking because what other realtor is knocking door to door?
Yeah.
When's the last time you ever had a realtor knock on your door? Probably never. And if you did, it was a long time ago and maybe once. And so you're already standing out. I've had people ask me, oh, are you the window guy? Are you the roof guy? No, I'm not. And now they are a little bit interested because I don't pitch them right away. I knock. I say, hey, my name's Aiden with eXp Realty. Did your neighbors tell you I was coming by? Now, why do I ask that question? Do you know?
Typically just as a way to kind of, well, I don't know. It just gets them off guard, right? So
100%.
It just gets them, yeah.
They're like, neighbor, who? Wait, what neighbor? Who said that? Wait, why are you? Okay, no one said that.
Now let me ask this question. I just have to, right? Because I'm playing, I guess, devil's advocate. But how many times do people go, no? Like, do they expect you to say that? Is there anybody who expects you to say that?
That expects me to ask if
like, I mean, I don't think that they expect you to say that necessarily, but it's more of like, I don't know. I feel, and maybe it's just because I'm in sales, so it's hard for me not to see that. But I feel like if somebody came to my door and was like, did your neighbor tell you I was stopping by? I'd be like,
They all say no.
I'm just like, yeah.
That's the point.
Right.
Is that they think they go, oh, no one said that. I say, gotcha, no worries. Main reason I'm here has been a lot of crazy changes in this real estate market. A lot of people don't know what it's going to do. Have you ever thought about buying or selling a home? And typically they say no, and that's not where you stop. You ask, okay, gotcha. How long have you been living here? And they answer that, oh, I've been living here for a year. I've been living here for 2 years. Oh, is this the forever home? No, it's not the forever home. Oh, why? Why not? Like, oh, we want to get something bigger. Gotcha. Well, how much longer do you think you'll stay here? And they typically give around a year range, and then let's say they say 3 years. Oh, okay, awesome. Why 3 years? And it's just the entire question-based pitch, and they think, oh, 3 years because of X, Y, Z, interest rates are high, yada, yada, yada. And say someone's like, oh, a year because interest rates are high and I want them to come down. It's too expensive right now. And then you start to ask, well, how familiar are you with the market? And you dive down.